There are several things about cars that I know for sure. If you buy yourself a Rolls-Royce, you buy it with the Starlight headliner. If you buy yourself a BMW, you buy the M package. And if you buy yourself a Ferrari, it should go in red, of course, without any doubts. As I see it, this car origins from the Ferrari Italia. And this is a kind of a next generation of it, a more technological one. But the funny thing is that if you look at this Ferrari F8 and then look at the Ferrari SF90, you will understand that in the traffic, absolutely no one will see the difference. Okay, maybe 1 out of a million will. But is that what you really want? Because one of these cars is 2 times more expensive than the other, but on the whole they look almost identical. Well, for most of the people, they do. I've already had the experience of driving such an automobile for some short period of time, and I have to confess that I didn't like this car at all. Why, Eric? First of all, the noise. That may be okay for someone, but I don't like noisy cars. Don't get me wrong, when I talk about the noise, I don't mean some unique, loud engine sound or the exhaust system. No, nothing of that kind. I'm talking about some bad noise insulation. It's just uncomfortable to drive this car. Also, that car used to make some strange noises when using power windows, but this one doesn't. That car sounded like from all the directions. And I don't even want to talk about Ferrari reliability, because I did it many times already and you know it. Ferrari is not a reliable car, same as Lamborghinis. Our car's got 3,500 miles on its odometer. And by the way, that's a Spider. Of course, after driving a Pista, which was full of carbon fiber, this car doesn't look cheap but still looks quite expensive and comfortable. The multimedia system and the menu is still pretty the same to what it used to be. In Pista, there's nothing new. Maybe the menu is slightly different, but whatever. And the quality of the display is insignificantly better. The steering wheel is also almost the same, but at least it feels a little bit better. Same as these turn signal buttons, they're right over here. And again, this morning the car showed me an error. It said it was having some problems with the pressure, so I kinda reloaded it, repeated the activation, and now it seems to be gone. The passenger screen. Even being a driver, I kinda like this thing, cause the passenger is getting involved. It's nice to feel you're also been taken into consideration. And the passenger can see lots of interesting data on this screen, such as the car speed and the revs and using all the multimedia, and it looks not worse than the dashboard. I like this feature pretty much, and I guess Ferrari was first who made it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but then everyone stole the idea. So now you can find this feature almost everywhere. I know for sure you can order such an option for your Porsche Taycan. If you ask me whether I'd like to have such a thing for my BMW, yes, sure, of course I would. My friends would shoot lots of cool shots and stories from my car. Okay, the first thing I want to do with this car is just drive it to the desert as fast as possible and kick its ass as hard as I can, because I want to get acquainted. Come on, car, show me what you are. This car doesn't have this thing. You know that feel like? It simply does not have it. So all the helping systems are off. Ferrari F8 launch. Oh really? Yeah. Well, frankly speaking, that was surprising. The grip is so good. Yeah, it starts pretty well. I want to do it one more time. damn, this car is so unstable. And the steering is horrible comparing to the Pista. That's just awful. No, seriously. I mean, the Pista is like the previous generation of the same car. Maybe they made it on purpose, simply for it to be worse than the other more expensive Ferraris, a trial version of a real Ferrari. The brakes are burning. What? Again? Hey, where are you going? Stay on the road. This is the most civil cars of all Ferraris. Just for some casual consumers. Well, the cool thing about this car is when you lower the speed and try to jump into the corner while pressing the brake pedal, the car is not trying to skid its ass, it's not trying to kill you. And that's the advantage of the slight V8 engine. It's got low center of gravity and it's placed within the base. That's what I like about it. And also I love this desert road because the essence of the car gets fully revealed here. But still, the Pista is a much more serious car than this Ferrari F8 if we talk about the steering or the amount of fun. Feels like piece of shit. Do you feel it? Do you feel how it behaves itself? This car is scary to be driven at such speeds. It feels like a boat on waves. Jesus, this is not cool at all.
You're watching The Quality Control with Davidich.
So here's the fender line, you see it? And this line doesn't meet this line at all. First of all, why is this thing loose? I really doubt it should be like this. Okay, now it's closed. And if you slide your finger over it, you will see that the trunk cover line is placed higher than it should be. You will feel that the altitudes coincide over here. But here they don't. This element seems to go okay over here, it's fine, fine, fine. Until we come to a huge gap. I could put my glasses inside there if I'd like to. Just why is this thing like this? It doesn't seem to be attached to the car anyhow. And this is almost a brand new car. It has never been damaged, it never got into some accidents. That's just Ferrari. Okay, just wait until it's open. I mean, something is definitely wrong here. Shouldn't this rubber go over this thing? It just doesn't hold its shape. Do you find it logical that this rubber seal should go all the way there, right down to this part? It's not consistent along all the line. You just look at it, it's so wonky. Why is it so crooked? This is a Ferrari, this car costs a bloody fortune. How on earth can they let themselves do it like this? Okay, now the roof. And here it seems to be okay, right the way it should be. But once again, this rubber seal turns into some piece of shit for some reason. This is the front right fender and this is the bumper. The bumper is displaced downwards. And on the edge of the fender you can clearly see the lack of paint. It's so obvious. None of these elements stands in proper position. On this side of the car the lines are pretty okay and you can see that the angle of the headlight fits snugly against the fender. And now look over here. Does it look like a proper gap between elements? I'm not even pushing it. My eyeglass arm just goes inside. There are miles between these parts. But for some reason it's okay from this side, and even if I apply force, it will never squeeze inside. If we take a look at the dashboard panel, we will see that the mounting simply doesn't click till the end. There's a huge gap between these two parts. It is simply not assembled the proper way. And also I see some glue on the dashboard. Can you see it? No, I don't. Where is it? You're almost… Yes, right there. I don't see it, but it's there. You will notice it because the color is different. What I'm trying to say is that if they don't pay any attention to things like this, and to be honest, I find this pretty important because this is the appearance of your automobile. How can I trust them after all? How can I trust this transmission or the engine or the drives and all the other things I don't see? I'm more than sure that the software of this car is made with the same attitude, without a doubt, because I don't believe in miracles. I would never buy myself such an automobile. No way. Simply because, well, that's just a disgrace. How can you be selling such a product? How can one buy such a product? If you come to Dubai, for example, or some other resort city, it may become a good choice as a rent car. Anyway, it's better than some Toyota Camry.
What the f, man?
I apologize. The Toyota Camry is a gorgeous automobile. Let it be some Mazda 6, for example. Anyway, in Dubai, you don't show off with a regular car, you take a Ferrari. And okay, fine, the assembly is poor. Whatever, I can live with it, and the steering is awful. I'll swallow it too. But what about the sound? There are two main things Ferrari gets associated with: the color and the sound. And the color is right, but where's the sound? When you try the Ferrari with V8 after V12, you already feel that's not that cool. I can only guess how poor and pointless it will feel when they make it electric. Okay, let's summarize it. The Ferrari F8. This car is obviously beautiful, and I like Ferraris, I'm not gonna hide it. I like the F12 Berlinetta, same as I like the Ferrari Superfast. Those cars are so real Ferraris, they're absolutely awesome. And I don't have a Ferrari for a reason. I simply cannot buy it, I cannot afford it. Ferraris are cool. I'm simply not rich enough to buy one for myself. I have enough money to buy a simpler Ferrari, something like this, for example. But it's a piece of crap. It should be a cherry on a cake top, a pearl of your garage. But this Ferrari is not a pearl, with such amount of fuck-ups when not a single body panel line matches the other one, like bumpers with fenders, when everything is crooked and wonky, and even inside of this car everything is sticking out. The geometry of everything doesn't coincide. This car is not a diamond. This whole car is some kind of a slapdash job, but still this car occupies its own niche on the market, and some people buy it. And if you are one of them, I recommend you sell it. Or simply never buy it if you haven't done such a mistake yet. If you want to take a ride, renting it would be definitely cheaper than a Pista or some SF90. You can rent this car for a day, take some cool pictures, have fun with it, and then forget about it forever. This car is not evil. This car's got no soul. This car is just red. It fits, either for pimps or some info scammers. This car should cost not more than 170,000 maybe, not more. Simply because you are still driving a Ferrari, this is not a BMW or Mercedes. But this car is not fast enough and it will get absolutely destroyed by a 63 AMG or a BMW M5. No chances. The best result this car is able to achieve under perfect conditions is 3.3 to 60. And its top speed is also not magical. I hope you hear it. Guys, this is what the marketeers do with your butts. Painful.